Wicked has just gone stratospheric.
It's got this huge cult following.
Some people will be hoping for its downfall.
It was nominated for 10, I think.
The Avengers of musicals, in a way.
Hey guys, this is Cut to the Take with the media couple.
And today we are going to be talking about Wicked. Part 2, Part 1, all the parts. They're all coming out. We're talking about it all. The producer of Wicked, Marc Platt, actually wanted to make Wicked into a film before it even hit Broadway.
No way.
Yeah, so
interesting.
back in the 1990s, essentially he always wanted to, because it was an adaptation from a book.
Right, okay.
And he always saw it as a film. So he's always had this intention. Mm-hmm. But they decided to go with the stage first strategy. And essentially what that's created, which I think is genius, is a built-in fan base.
Yeah, absolutely.
For this film.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of needed a built-in fan base for a musical. I think you kind of need a built-in fan base for a musical. And I think that's why, for example, K-pop Demon Hunters has worked, because you've got the built-in fan base of K-pop, built-in fan base of anime. Mm-hmm. That's why those two work.
Yeah.
This one with Wicked, if you've got the built-in fan base,
you've got the audience who's going to come
of
and
the
watch
theatre
it.
goers.
Absolutely,
you've got an audience that you can capitalize, that you can market.
You've got a following.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely,
it's exactly what you want to do. So I just thought that was really interesting how he's, this project has been so long in the making.
I kind of feel like it gives it more credibility in the film as well.
Yes.
I don't know why. It's just when they adapt like musicals into feature films, I'm like, it just gives it something more credible. There's something more credible about it. I don't know why.
Well, you know that it works and it's already.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
it works, and people know the story. People understand it. Everybody knows that Wicked, spoilers, is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. I mean, if that spoiled it for you,
I mean, I hope that you're all very aware of that.
Yeah, but so it's capitalizing on this. It's kind of got, and I think that's what's so brilliant about Wicked and the story in and of itself, and Marc Platt, genius, for seeing this. You've got The Wizard of Oz, which is a huge film, right?
Massive,
when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then Wicked, which was a book, and there's the prequel. So you're essentially franchising off of the Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. That's you're making a spin-off of the Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. But then so you've already got that built-in fan base, and then to go to stage, you're just building another fan base. So when you put it together, in this final franchise, you're pulling in from everybody who ever heard The Wizard of Oz, watched The Wizard of Oz as a child.
Absolutely, yeah.
Plus
Read
theatre
a book,
goers.
Went to the theatre, watched a film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you bring in Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah.
And you have made movie magic.
Yeah.
Of course, because then you're bringing in all the pop culture girlies.
Exactly. We're talking about marketability and globalization.
I mean,
we've got that.
It's literally no wonder Wicked has just gone stratospheric.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I do want to talk about how it compares to some other musicals, because I think that's quite interesting. So at the moment, Wicked is the highest grossing film adaptation of a Broadway musical. So think it's bigger than Les Mis.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Chicago.
Yeah, wow.
It's bigger than Mamma Mia, right? Mm-hmm. However, Wicked at the box office, and it's only part one that's come out so far, so it could still change. At the box office globally, made $756 million at this point, point of recording, or approximately that. The highest grossing musical ever, when adjusted for inflation, was The Sound of Music.
Oh, interesting.
Which made $2.5 billion at worldwide box office, adjusted for inflation, of course.
Yeah.
So it's not quite up there in terms of as the biggest musical ever. Mm-hmm. And it's also not quite up there in terms of the height of the genre. Like The Sound of Music, 1965.
I was going to say, I mean, like the Singing in the Rain, Sound of Music, this was the musical era of Hollywood.
Precisely. So, but what I do think Wicked is doing is giving a little bit of resurgence to the musical genre. Mm-hmm. It's just doing it slightly differently. And it's just, I kind of feel like this might be the new way forward for musicals.
Okay.
Build a fan base first by putting it on stage.
Yeah.
And then bring it into the cinematic world.
Yeah, of course.
Although West Side Story did try that, and Cats did try that.
Cats, I mean, it flopped. I mean, one musical that did do very well, which was off the basis of the film, but then it adopted a cult following over such a long time, was Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
You know, if you look at that historically, and now it's like it's celebrated, it's got massive fans. It came out in the 70s, and for its time, it was... It was incredible, you know, the lengths they went to, the style of it. But that's something that like took, you know, 25, 30 years, 40 years later, it's got this huge cult following. So sometimes it can work.
True. I mean, The Greatest Showman, for example.
Yeah,
The Greatest Showman,
obviously
when it
that
first,
was just a film,
just
wasn't
original.
it? And then they've,
Same with La La Land.
Yes,
you know,
true.
La La Land didn't go on.
True.
So there is a world, but I don't feel like La La Land and, well, maybe The Greatest Showman, but The Greatest Showman was like a bit of a slow burn. And when it first came out, it didn't do too great.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest.
It was not the greatest show.
But Wicked, I feel, has just come in. But I really think genuinely that is also down to the casting.
I agree. Yeah, you're taking in those fan bases. I mean, especially bringing someone like Ariana Grande in. I mean, and Cynthia Erivo is just magnificent.
Exactly, and this is also Ariana Grande's. Like, I think she was such a left field pick for.
There was a little bit of concern, wasn't there? Yeah,
but I think that also helped because it piqued everybody's interest, and everybody was a bit curious as to whether or not she would be able to pull this role off, because Ariana Grande as a pop artist is not Glinda the Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So everybody was
she's
a bit
edgier, isn't she?
Yeah. So everybody was a bit like, oh, how is this going to go? But yeah, I mean, I think I'm really excited to see part 2.
So am I, yeah.
I do wonder whether they're going to be able to live up to part 1, because they did pretty well with part 1.
I just think, I agree. I mean, it's really, really hard, isn't it, to get that same amount of success again? I mean, but I'm glad that obviously it's just going to be, they're not trying to stretch it out and make it something. It's Wicked for Good is the next one, isn't it? And that's it. So it's following the play. It's sticking to the rules. It's not trying to adapt any further. Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, do you think Wicked is sort of trying to be a little bit of the Avengers of musicals in a way? Because it has obviously split it up into 2, right? Like you look at Dune, for example, it's been split up into 2.
Yeah, it's true.
Harry Potter was split up into 2.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether it's a little bit of they're trying to maybe see if they can split these up and make more money out of them, or if it's actually more creativity.
I think, I definitely think it's the first one.
Oh, you personally don't think it's creatively? I
don't think it's creatively. No, I mean, to be fair, I think like had they made the film, maybe the film would have been like 4 or 5 hours long, you know, or something like that.
Would you have sat through that?
But it could have been a way like, you know, how they do Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the theatre play, where it's like you watch half of it, then you go away, and then there's a part 2, you know, that sort of vibe. I mean, I understand the reason of spreading it out, but I think historically, what has Hollywood taught us? That they always do sequels.
Oh yeah,
you know,
of course.
It's like what you said.
Once you get one hit, you've got a billion of exactly the same ones coming down the pipeline.
Thank you very much. So yeah, I think definitely I can't see that changing, and I couldn't see that changing with Wicked.
No,
because in terms, I agree with you. In terms of musicals, it was globally such a massive success.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think it's kind of going to save the genre? Because I feel like the genre was kind of dying out. I mean, we had La La Land, which is 2014.
Yeah.
The Greatest Showman, which was 2017. I can't really think of another big musical.
No.
Barbie did have some songs in
musical
it, but
elements, but it wasn't a musical.
I wouldn't class it as a musical.
No. I can't actually think of one as successul, because it also did really well at the Academy Awards. Wicked, it was nominated for 10, I think, which is very impressive for a musical. I can't think of one apart from Les Mis. Like, Les Mis, it was, you know, people won the Oscars for that. Obviously, it was nominated for many. I think Tom Hooper may have won Best Director for it, potentially.
Or Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, that was a musical at its peak, you know.
Yeah, no, that's
peak
true.
of its success.
Well, some people will be hoping for its downfall because they just hate musicals with a passion.
What people do.
I know.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I like, it depends on the musical, but I generally, you know, they make me feel good.
I know. If you hate musicals, well, why are you watching this show? But if you hate musicals, please tell us why.
Yeah, just as an insider, Wicked is Sophie's favourite. So yeah.
I did cry.
So be careful. She cried a lot in the cinema.
Yeah. It was
when defying gravity. I mean,
it was just so emotional.
It's just the raw emotion, which we're all here for. You
Indeed.
know, that's why the execs keep putting out the content.
To get me to cry. Anyways, thanks guys for watching Cut to the Take. If you did enjoy this, make sure to click on the other videos in the playlist. And if you do want to watch the full episode, you can go and find that on our channel now. Please do like, subscribe, leave a comment below. It really does help if you enjoyed. And we will see you again soon.